Hello Munchkins and viewers alike, it is me Munchie. So ever since I posted the video about me trying to find adoptable hamsters and telling people about the adoption programs both at Petco and PetSmart, while also telling people that I have been recently looking on Craigslist and my Washington and Oregon rehoming group and doing a bunch of research on rescues and things like that, I made a choice to look at Petco and PetSmart because each one of their programs is different. Petco, they take in surrendered animals, and PetSmart, they have their sick, elderly, or aggressive hamsters up for adoption that they no longer can sell on the floor. So one program is a lot better than the other because surrendered animal means rehoming animal. So a lot of people didn't understand that, and a lot of people looked at that video and thought that I meant buying a hamster from that store, which in the video, which a lot of people apparently missed, I advocate highly about think adoption first and putting breeders last, because we have way too many animals who need homes, and that is what I advocate. So somehow people didn't end up watching the video, and they also tried to tell me what I was doing wrong, which unfortunately a lot of them I had to delete because they just did not understand what I was going for. And some of you questioned me, which is great, because if you want to understand something, always ask, which a lot of you said, hey, I didn't know about this program. Thank you for enlightening me. So that is what I'm going to be doing in today's video. I am going to enlighten people about ways you can find adoptable small animals like hamsters, reptiles, and birds, because they all fit under the category of small animals. Something that is not a large mammal like a cat, a dog, or horse, farm animals, you name it. So I hope this video is helpful, and maybe the reason why you're here is because you want to know more about the adoptable programs out there for Think Adoption First. There's going to be hashtags everywhere about Think Adoption First, because the people advocating for homeless animals that have been surrendered or found abandoned, they need a voice, and we are the voice. I am part of that voice and that movement that is trying to get people to know where to go instead of seek people who are breeders or wannabe breeders, because there's breeders out there that they are not registered or they do not register their animals when breeding, and they just want to make a profit. There are people out there that just don't care, and they are spreading ill information around, and I have so many horror stories I would love to tell you guys since working at a pet store. You heard me right, I work at a pet store, and I've seen the horror stories of my customers. You guys think that pet stores and people working at pet stores is awful. Wait till you hear about the horrible story of a woman deciding she was going to starve her dog and didn't understand that the dog that she bought from not a registered breeder was going to turn out to be a very big dog. A lot of the times people don't understand that dogs and cats are going to be a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of energy, and if you get a specific type of personality cat or a specific breed of dog, they have different requirements, and people tend to abandon them because they don't realize this and they don't do enough research. So you see a lot of young dogs ages 1 through 3 in shelters because the owners did not know what they were getting into. And sometimes with those cases, owners, first-time owners especially, who abandoned these dogs tend to not give any training because, again, didn't do enough research, didn't know what they were doing. The dog turns out to have problems like biting because they thought it was okay with that specific person. I know I'm trying to get into small animals here and let you guys know, but I want to first enlighten you about the larger animals and what they are going through, which a lot of the times people end up seeing more of because they end up saying, oh, shelters, Think Adoption First, that's out there for them. But what about small animals? So there is options. Some shelters around here will take in small animals, birds and reptiles. However, a lot of them, including one of the most renowned in Washington, Seattle Humane Society, no longer takes in these small critters. They used to a long time ago, but now they're refusing people who are asking, hey, can we surrender this animal to you? We didn't know what we were getting into. And they say no. They will turn you down. Shelters will turn you down. So check a shelter first. Pet Finder is a great website, and just going on the shelter's website to see if they do have a section where it says small animals or something like critters. If they don't, you might have to dig a little bit deeper and go on Craigslist. Some people trust Craigslist and others do not. So if you're not very comfortable with Craigslist, I do have another alternative I'll be talking to you here in a second. But a lot of the times Craigslist is a last resort for these animals. And just to know a little bit about my background, I actually foster cats who have been neglected or need a home right away from Craigslist. I do partner with shelters. However, I I also try my best to go on Craigslist because, like I said before, shelters can deny you if you're trying to surrender your animal to them. And that's what actually happened with a few occasions where people are saying that, hey, shelters have a surrendering fee. They say they're booked, or they say they don't want your animal for whatever reasons. If it's aggressive, if it needs special needs, like, you know, UTI cases, liver disease cases, they just don't want to accept them. So a lot of the times people resort to Craigslist as a last resort. And there is a community on Craigslist for small animals, birds, and reptiles. You just gotta know where to look. So there is gonna be two places on Craigslist to look, one in the for sale and the other in the community where the pet section is. A lot of the times people don't really think that there is a pet section on Craigslist, and they list them in the for sale side of Craigslist. The alternative of Craigslist is Facebook. Now I have two groups that actually technically three, but we're trying to talk about small animals here. So I have two groups that I currently follow called the Oregon/Washington group of small animals for adoption, or small reptiles for adoption. And this group I've actually helped out so much because when we see animals in need, we all jump into that situation and try our best to help. There's been so many times when I've just looked on Craigslist, found an animal that needs home ASAP and needs to be taken out of that situation, and I posted in those groups, hey, this animal needs help. I'm not gonna personally take a snake, but this snake needs to go ASAP tonight. The person doesn't want it. I don't know what's going to happen if they're going to just release it, because a lot of the times you see animals outside getting released that they are bred in captivity and they can't be released. People think that, oh no, animals, they deserve to be outside in the nature, but they don't understand they are not going to survive in a climate, in a habitat, in an environment that is not native to them. I saw today, which I screenshot, somebody trying to get rid of a guinea pig and they were just going to release it into the woods. So that was awful to see. I am so terrified because I have found when I was small in middle school a gerbil right by my apartments that most likely either A, escaped, or B, somebody let loose thinking that, oh, I don't want this anymore, it's just gonna run free outside. So that's the reality. That's what I'm trying to educate to you guys today. And a lot of the times people like to tell you that, oh hey, pet stores, they're terrible, they're awful. Why would you ever consider a pet store? But guess what? Petco and PetSmart have their own adoption programs. Petco takes in surrendered animals if they have room and try to rehome them with a rehoming fee that goes directly into their Petco Foundation that recently, as of last year, helped out one of my shelters that I've donated. I've spent time going down there and spending time in their cat room and with their cats. They donated $75,000 to the cat room to make it better, to have better cages and care for the cats. If people are telling you pet stores are garbage and things like that, those people do not understand their adoption philosophy. But pet stores, they want to do good. They want to be good in the public's eye. So Petco has implemented this. And there's not really a lot of bad people at Petco or at PetSmart. People working there tend to care about animals. However, there has been pet stores that have been desperate for just any help. But the people that are higher up will either A, want money, or B, want to help animals. So somebody back in 2004 came up with the idea, let's have Think Adoption first. Let's invite Recues into our store. Let's house cats at our location or dogs at our location. Petco up north of me has a shelter inside their store from RESKC, Regional Animal Services of King County, my county animal shelter that I visit and donate to. These guys are amazing. I don't know how they got their approval to have a shelter literally inside that store, where PetSmart, they also have their own little shelter exhibit room, but they just take it from whichever shelter is closest to them. But somebody actually had to partner with Petco to have their facility inside their store, which is incredible. I love that concept. I love that idea. As well as Seattle Humane, the place I talked to you guys about before, they have a Maxi Mobile, which they travel to get their animals seen. Now with small animals, reptiles, and birds, they don't have that here. There is not enough resources. So that's why it's so important to look at all options. So I'm telling you guys, I'm advocating for Think Adoption first. But pet stores, they do have an adoption program program. Please do your research. Please look into this. If you need more information, I would love to provide it. When I uploaded my adoption vlog where I was searching for a hamster, a lot of people did not listen to what I said in the video, and it hurts my heart. It really does. And when people are just ignoring and being pushy and bossy and telling you what to do or degrading you, saying that you're terrible for thinking of a pet store. So I don't know how Hammy Lux and Hopping Hammy and all the other hamster channels that love to think adoption first, I don't know how they can deal with all this pushy behavior. I haven't really seen anybody be very pushy on their channels. Everybody that I've seen loves them, but it's just hard to actually educate people about the programs if people are not willing to listen and to jump the bandwagon before understanding. So thank you to those guys who ask questions first and not tell you that you're a terrible person when they do not understand the situation. So I hope this video is helpful to those of you wondering where you can go. There's also the Facebook Marketplace, besides just groups, finding groups in your area dedicated to these small animals. So on Facebook, I did find a hamster. However, the hamster was way too far up north, right by the border, which I cannot travel that far, but I tried to educate the person, saying if you cannot find somebody, since they've been posting for several weeks trying to find a free hamster a good home because they were ill-educated that you're not supposed to place two hamsters in the same small little cage, that hey, there is Petco near you that will take in surrendered animals if you cannot find a home for this little fella in time, because they said they had no cage for it. And it's just, again, do your research. Definitely check Facebook Market, Craigslist, Pet Finder, shelters, and rescues around your area, and just ask your friends and family. Maybe somebody will know of a place that has these animals. And of course, on Craigslist, when you're looking, make sure to watch out for breeders trying to advertise themselves as rescuers, because they just end up taking in hamsters that nobody wants and then they breed them. And that's not really what we are advocating here. We are advocating that we're gonna rescue an animal like a cat, a dog, a bird, a mice, a rabbit, and we try to find them homes. Our mission is not to reproduce that adoptable hamster or animal and then give it back along with its babies. That's adding more issues to the problem of trying to find homes for these animals. And I've saved, thankfully, 5 cats last year out of terrible situations. And I would love to talk to you guys more about that, but that's not the point of this video. And I'll make sure to mention it in another video dedicated to my journey of being a foster home. So thank you guys so much for listening to me babble and taking in this information I'm giving you guys. And if you've recently adopted or rescued an animal, please let me know below. I love to hear stories about adoptions and just people helping out an animal. And if you would like to subscribe, please do, to see more content from me. Thank you guys so much, and again, thank you for listening to me. I appreciate it so much, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Bye-bye!